Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to Hear Us Out. Here, I need to get a megaphone so I can
You're so
hear us
happy
out.
Monday, baby. Right on time. Hear us out with River and Lottie, giving you the blueprints for the music and media industries. That part. Episode 7? Episode
Episode
7.
7. Episode 7.
Thanks for rocking with us, guys. 7 episodes in.
Having a blast.
Shout out to everyone who's watching live and who has been watching live, because as you know, these episodes only live on Twitch for up to 2 weeks. So if you're not catching them live, who knows when you're going to catch them.
What you doing? Tap in or catch the tidbits, but tap in.
That part.
So Lottie, what's on our agenda today?
Today, we are discussing the topic that you guys voted for the most this past week on Twitter via the poll. So that is overcoming imposter syndrome, which is really important for anyone who wants to succeed at anything to the best of their abilities in life.
And y'all know, we've been talking about imposter syndrome. It comes up a lot, actually. Honestly, I think it's come up in almost every episode, just because it's a big part of navigating the industry. I think any industry anyway, but so we're super excited to kind of really actually just address it, talk about it, and we'll continue to just give our reminders of like, yo, you got this. You're not alone, but you got this. Don't let the imposter syndrome get in your way of going where you need to go, making what you need to make, doing what you need to do. You know? So how we want to kick it off, Lottie? What's the vibes? How we feel it?
Let's talk about it. I mean, you guys all know what imposter syndrome is at this point and have probably all experienced it, as have we. But one thing I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when it comes to imposter syndrome, the most important thing for you to understand is that it's not real. Now, before y'all get y'all's panties in a bunch or whatever the phrase is, need you understand something. We've heard of all these things, right? These psychological things like the placebo effect and this, that, and the third. What happens in your mind affects what happens physically, like in your body and even outside your body. So yes, the things that you think do affect your reality, but that means that you need to change the things that you think. Imposter syndrome, which is basically having self-doubt, feeling that you don't belong somewhere, or you don't have the ability to do something. That is you telling yourself those negative thoughts. Newsflash, you don't have to do that. You don't have to accept those things. You don't have to make self-doubt a part of your identity. It's completely normal, but if you want to be extraordinary, you need to think extraordinary things about yourself and about the things that you will do. Me personally, I love delusion. Big on that. Delusional thinker. I'm gonna be the richest person and the finest person and the flyest person and the most successful person because I said so about myself. And that's it.
I love it. An abundant mindset. Like abundant mindsets only, you know what I'm saying? I think that when it comes to imposter syndrome, like I said in the start, if you're going through it, you're not alone. I deal with it every day still. You know, it's a constant interaction, I guess you could say. But to Lottie's point, it's not, you can choose how you respond in those moments where you're like, you know, and some examples. Let's start there too. Let's talk about some examples of what imposter syndrome looks like, because I feel like we hear about it all of the time. You know, like it's, I don't want to call it a buzzword, but it is. It's something that people are actually having conversations about because so many people are dealing with it. But let's actually talk about what it actually looks like. So, for example, you know, those moments, I've seen it happen to myself, my coworkers, my friends. You get a promotion at work. And if you're in the TV film industry or the music industry, media, in all of the industries, but my background, TV film, you get a promotion at work, right? And so now you start the first day in your new role. You're a manager now, you're a coordinator now, whatever the role is. And then you have that moment, that whatever it is of like, wait, do I know what I'm doing? Am I supposed to be here? I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I'm about to fail. I'm about to mess everything up because I have no idea what I'm doing. Do I know what I'm doing? Do I know how to do this? Why am I overthinking every single thing? That moment that happens where you start to question like that feeling of like, oh my God, do I actually know? Am I actually ready for this? That's imposter syndrome. Like that's what that is. Or the moment where, let's say you've been in the studio, you've been making music, you've been recording, you've been rapping, whatever it is that you do musically, or you've been what they say, you've been shooting in the gym, you know what I'm saying? You've been writing scripts, you've been writing songs, you've been singing, right? But you haven't necessarily done it on the most professional level, let's say. And then that professional opportunity comes. And then you think to yourself, wait, am I ready for this? Do I know what I'm doing? Am I going to be able to deliver on this? Am I ready for real? Because I haven't done it like as long as professionally as other. That moment, that's imposter syndrome too. So it's like being able in those moments where you hear it or you feel that moment of self-doubt, like Lottie described, choose in that moment power. Choose, I got this. Choose, and if I don't got it, I'll figure it out. And if I need help, I'll ask for it. And if I have questions, I'll ask them, and I'm not gonna feel bad about the fact that I have a question. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something that I am constantly reminding myself as a person who's been in the industry for a minute. I'm still dealing with those moments just because there's so much that's going on, right? There's so many things that are happening right now. I feel like we are in the midst of a massive creative revolution, and there's so many different layers and levels to creativity now. Like as technology enhances, there's all these different ways to create. It can get overwhelming, but in those moments, choose abundance. Choose, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've put in the time, I put in the work, I've done the research. If you've done all those things, you're prepared. And if you aren't prepared right now, you will get prepared. You know what I mean? And just trust in that and having that confidence in that, I think, is one of the biggest things that I definitely, it took me a second. I didn't know that was what imposter syndrome was. I had heard about it. Like when I first started working in the industry, I had heard an older co-worker of mine mention it. And I was like, what the heck is that? I'm like, I don't even know. I had never heard it before. Straight up. I'm gonna be honest. I learned the term in the industry and I was like, what is that? And then I looked it up and I was like, not the internet reading me for filth. I deal with this. So just to give that oversight in case people were like, what is it? What is it actually? Like, I don't know. I've heard about it, but what is it?
Yeah, you ate that. And first of all, yes to all the things that are said, but what really stood out to me and what you just said is that even if I don't quite know or don't quite have it figured out, I'm going to figure it out. And that's looking one of the most important parts, because it might be the case that you might not have the same level of qualifications as somebody. Maybe you might not have all the years of experience.
Yes.
Maybe you haven't worked at the same caliber of clients.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Everybody started somewhere. Everybody started somewhere. Everybody's been in your position.
It's where you finish.
Process.
So don't crumble under the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Take a second, deep breaths. If you made it into a certain role, or if you're in a certain room, or you have the ability to work with a certain person, you were chosen for a reason. And you need to take that opportunity and run with it. Crush it. Do the damn thing. Because at the end of the day, it's not all about the things that you know or you don't know. It's what are you going to do to be able to close that gap, to be able to successfully execute that thing.
No, that's facts. Ooh, what are you going to do to be able to close the gap?
A lot of people don't have stuff figured out. If there's one thing I realized going into workforce, working with older folk can be like 40 and up, they don't even really be knowing what
either. They
just do whatever, and then you're like subjected to that.
If you only knew, like we've said it a couple episodes on here, but like for real, if I haven't learned anything else in this industry, it's that like there is so much value in throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, And the reality is a lot of the people that I've worked for too, I'm with you on that, like much older than me, but I watch them every day confidently throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And the reason why they were doing it confidently was because they knew, I'm just trying to find results. I'm just trying to see what works. I'm trying to establish a process. And this is a part of it. You have to try. You just have to try something. Everyone's trying to figure it out. First of all, this industry specifically,
Hello.
music, media, entertainment, it is directly impacted by technological advances. So
Right.
as technology continues to advance, some of the first industries that are impacted by that are medicine and entertainment, media, sport, those industries. Why? Because that's how we consume those things, right? We consume everything that we do in this industry digitally. So as technology enhances, for a bunch of people who aren't the people that are enhancing it, we have to adjust. Everyone's figuring it out as they go. So don't allow for that imposter syndrome to kick in and be like, I'm the only one. This is my thing. And this is the thing that I had to learn about imposter syndrome. It had me thinking I was the only one who didn't know what I was doing because of doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at other people who are just confidently trying. That's the best way I could describe. They're just confidently trying. They're confidently just trying things and okay with if it doesn't work, because
So
that's what
much
comes
of
with
life
trial and error.
is just that. And honestly,
Yeah.
it really comes down to like sales. Can you sell yourself on the fact that you can do this? And can you sell your client or your boss, whoever else, on the fact that you can do this? Because so many times it's not even the idea, it's the delivery of the idea. You're out here palms sweaty and you shaking and you sweat. They're looking at you like
Eminem. No, not Eminem.
They're like, you know what? We gonna pass on that. But if you tell them, let me tell you exactly why this is the thing we should do. This is how we're gonna get the money. This is how long it's gonna take. This is who the sponsors are gonna be. This is when the activation is gonna happen. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, run it. Like imposter syndrome, like affects everything within you and outside of you. That's why it's so important to nip that in the bud. As soon as the thought, as soon as the negative thought, you're just like, nah. As soon as you gotta physically, literally say, be like, get out of here.
There's no space here for you. Sometimes I find when I get into those moments, I talk to myself a lot. I talk to myself a lot.
Hello? Come on,
I talk to myself.
Neurodiverse.
I talk to myself. Okay, so I'm gonna put that out there, number one. But in those moments when the imposter syndrome kicks in, I whisper to myself. And sometimes I call on, whatever you believe in, whatever the case may be, but I will whisper to myself, like, anything that's not serving me, please leave. Any mindset that's not serving me, please leave.
Immediately.
I can't do this. Please leave. I'm not trying to feed into you. I'm not trying to feed into the doubt. I've been putting in the work, and God dang it, if I haven't learned anything else from putting in the work, I've learned how to keep trying to figure it out. So even if I haven't necessarily, I get into the studio with Lottie and she's writing a song and I'm like, I'm gonna try and produce for you, but it's my first time. I'm gonna try and figure it out. I'm gonna try and figure it out, and I'm gonna try and figure it out, right? Like in that moment, I'm gonna try and figure it out. I'm gonna tell myself, all right, look, you've been putting in the work to figure out how to do this thing. Now is your moment to execute, and be okay with if the result isn't what you wanted it to be. Because I think that one of the things that reinforms or breathes life into the imposter syndrome too is not having the awareness that when you try, if the result that you get from trying isn't what you thought it was going to be, you have to process that in that moment, not as a failure, but as this is a learning moment. And I think when you process, like, I tried, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to, so I don't know what I'm doing. If that's the narrative, you're breathing into imposter syndrome, because you're telling yourself you don't know what you're doing just because the results that you got weren't the ones that you wanted. And sometimes you have to take a step back and see, like, oh, the results that I got are actually what I was supposed to get, and actually are probably setting me up to do that next thing that my boss or my client is going to ask me way better than the results that I originally wanted. So I got this still. I didn't get the results I want, but I still got this because I'm going to adjust. I got this.
That
But
Hard.
whatever you do, don't reinform yourself of, well, I didn't get what I wanted from trying, so I don't know what I'm doing. Because the basis of imposter syndrome is rooted in the fact that you can convince yourself that you don't know how to do or execute on something. So don't whatever you do, just don't do that. Yeah. No.
Right. And that also goes hand in hand with the concept of giving yourself grace, especially if you're trying out a new thing. It's like Thomas Edison didn't build a light bulb on the first go.
And my boy probably got shocked a couple
like
times.
100 times before it.
Do you know how many times he probably got accidentally zapped? He could have, do you know? Like, come on.
Give yourself grace. It's okay to screw up. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not get it right the first time. And one of the things that, my mentors are always telling me, it's like, we're not saving lives, like literally. We're not, open heart surgery. It's like,
stop.
If it's the wrong cue sheet or the wrong whatever, we all gonna be.
It's okay. We'll be fine. And in those moments, look, let me say this, because what Lottie's talking about is because there's this overwhelming sense of urgency that exists with
everything is urgent.
Like, why is it so urgent? If this was medical, this would not be the same conversation.
Right.
This is not.
Right, because
this is music and media
seconds and minutes in medicine. That is not the case in music.
It's not the case here.
Yeah.
And my former boss, he used to tell me all the time, I don't use the term urgent. I don't use the term urgent because nothing that we're not, this is not open heart surgery. Everyone will survive after this. And I think if you can remind yourself in those moments too, where things get tense, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? Everything's burning down. Stop in that moment and remind yourself, I got this. Everything will be fine. And then when it is fine, make sure to stop and give yourself a pat on the back and a moment to acknowledge, even though I was panicking 2 hours ago, everything actually ended up working out perfectly fine. I didn't need to panic. Because that panic also informed all of these things that are rooted in like questioning ability, that all breathes life into the imposter syndrome that we're trying to overcome. Now, Lottie, do you have some real world examples of when you chose to do the opposite of imposter syndrome? Like when you was like, nope, not listening to you. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that I said I was going to do for the new year is just lean into delusion. I'm just going to apply for all the things and talk to all the people and send all the DMs and send all the emails and say yes to stuff that I never would have said yes to, because I'm gonna just figure it out. I'm gonna do it. And it's interesting, right? Because it's like, one of the things that imposter syndrome kind of makes you want to do is hide, right? And not put yourself out there. And when you don't put yourself out there, it's a lot harder to get opportunities, especially in music and media. It's a very visible, these are very visible spaces. So me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to this event. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna join this social network. I know what's going on. Actually, really recently, this is very nerd. So, I had joined this social network called Noster. It's a protocol and not a platform. It's super nerdy. It's like built on Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with that we do in music or media. But I was like, you know what? I've done enough work in Web3 to figure it out. I'm gonna dive right in.
Right.
And I'm there, and there are all these people talking, very technical things, and they're coding stuff, and they're using GitHub, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know what's going on. And randomly, one of the guys, McShane, and also Jack Dorsey's on this protocol. And they're essentially working together to plan a conference or an unconference in Japan. And so I told myself, I'm going, because why not? I never been to Japan. I'm going to meet some people who I don't usually get to meet. It seems fun and interesting, and the conference is free. You just got to pay your own way in terms of like travel and stay. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going. So, and I responded to his post, his note, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. Like, I'll help, with finding the venue.
Wait, hold
And so now I'm going to Japan in November.
Wait, hold on. That's where I was wondering where this story was about to lead.
Yeah,
Is the
and
story
it's
leading
like-
with you going to Japan for
Yeah,
an
and
event that you shot your shot
there's
on?
no there, like me like 6 months ago, a year ago, I'd be like, no, there's no way. Like, I'm not with the company that's paying, or I don't know enough about Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. I don't know Japanese. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we're gonna go and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. And I don't know what's gonna happen or not gonna happen, but as far as I'm concerned, it's gonna be great. And that's that. Just throwing myself
I
into the situation.
love that. Okay, that is fire. That's fire. So moral of the story is she saw an opportunity and she was like, why not me? So she went for it. And now she's watching fruit start to come to fruition.
It's happening.
It's happening. I love that. No, I love that.
It's awesome.
What? Yeah. And those are the moments I get that, like, those are the real world like examples of like what it means to go against that. Just questioning whether or not you should do something, questioning whether or not you should say something. I had a friend, another example. I had a friend named Easy. He passed away a few years ago, rest in peace. And when we were at his services, everybody was giving this example of the first time he got himself a job in like tech, basically, like in compute IT, basically. And his former supervisor, it came and he spoke on the podium and he was like, yeah, the first time I met Easy, I interviewed him for the job. And I asked him, have you ever built a computer before? Have you ever, done this tech thing, that tech thing? And he was like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this. All this. Yeah, I got all this. He gets the job. And on the first day, he's like, yeah, no, I've never done any of this, but I'll learn it. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, but I'm learning it. I will learn it. Where do I need to start? But they loved him for it. He became their favorite employee, and he learned it.
He learned
and
it.
he did it, and he got the job, and he made an impact in the job. Just from why not me, right? And that's what with Lottie's story. Lottie literally was like, I'm in this group. I don't know what they're talking about. They're coders. I'm not. I am not. But why not me? And I think maybe that's the lesson for when you're thinking about imposter syndrome and you're like, why me? Do I deserve this? No. Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? It could be you too.
For sure. And also, we touched on this a bit last week. It's just like you being like on the outside, you provide a perspective that they probably have never even experienced in their lives. And that's what changes everything. And I can't remember like what kind of movies. There are all these crazy movies. I think maybe What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes, where she like pretends to be a boy so she can get into the school. But the amount of lessons that are learned from everyone, that girls can do things too, that appearances don't always, it's like so many, even like white chicks. White chicks, they really had to prove themselves to white chicks. Like they had messed up the whole entire case. Like, they got the wrong guys in terms of like getting the drugs or whatever. But they were like, we're gonna go undercover and prove ourselves to the squad. And they ended up saving the day. So it's like, and sometimes it's ridiculous. Can I just say that? Sometimes it is ridiculous. The things that you might have to do in a circumstance you have to put yourself under in order to make a point. But when the point is made, the point is made. And then can't nobody say nothing.
And when you execute, that's my thing. If you know your ability to execute, you definitely have to go into everything with why not me. Like and even
if you don't, though.
And even if you don't,
you will. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that you're
going to learn how to do it.
Okay, so
and you're going to learn how to do it, though. That's the thing. You're going to put yourself into the position. It's going to be challenging. Definitely.
Right.
It'll be challenging, especially if it's something you've never done before. But the worst that'll happen is that you will make a mistake. And the best part about that is that you'll learn something and you'll walk away from it with more than what you came into it with.
Right.
So you've got to be able to see from a different perspective, which is that no matter what, this is a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's my first time. I'm going to make mistakes. It happens. And if I don't, great. But I will accept in advance that I will. And I will be okay with that, because on the other side of that is a lesson. There's knowledge, there's insight, what have you. Look, I will be the first to say, like, I had the most which is crazy to think. I had the most imposter syndrome for me when I realized it was when I was debating on my transition out of management. I was I thought about it for months. I was like, and
No
I
way.
had competing offers. I was about to go work at Netflix. It was all type of stuff that was going on. I was like,
Right.
I was like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be doing this. And I had imposter syndrome convincing me not to bet on myself. So I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to be leaving to start my own thing. Like, I'm an artist. I'm supposed to be doing my own thing. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this my whole life. I don't know if this is my purpose. But I was doubting my ability to take care of myself, to just lead my own charge, to be able to be my own boss. Like, I was really like, ooh, do you know what you're gonna do? Do you have enough self-control for that? Girl, are you disciplined enough? Like, what? And then I thought about it and I'm like, what do you mean? You had to train in an acting program. You had to learn discipline, and you worked for a long time. Like, you can set up your own schedule and follow it. It's okay. And once I got past the imposter syndrome, I think something must have happened, because that day I just was like, yeah, I'm out. This is it. And that was it. It was like the day where I didn't have imposter syndrome was the day where I chose to make all the action. I was like, this is the day. Like, I had to do everything. That moment that I didn't have it, I had to capitalize on it. I did everything in that moment.
No, that's
I was like,
actually so real. That's actually so actually one of my favorite producers ever, his name's Cardo. He tweeted one time. He's actually tweeted a few times. He's like, when it's your time, go crazy. Like, don't let up. Like, whether it's like a time mentally or career-wise or whatever, like, go in when you could go in.
Go in.
Because you'll look back and be like, damn, I really did that.
I did that.
That's crazy. Go in, go hard. Like, I think, someone who I look at, and I'm not sure if she experienced too much imposter syndrome, but Thames, bruh,
she
Thames,
does. And I've heard her talk about
it. On the map with Essence, right, with WizKid. And mind you, she was the feature on the song. Everybody was like, who is this? Who is that? And from then on, she's working with every damn body, Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Future.
And the best part about her story is how similar it is to Lottie's. Let me say this. Tim's was in finance.
Crazy. A real nice young girl.
For a long time. And she said, I always dreamed about singing. It's literally the same story as you, Lottie, now that I'm thinking about it, but we'll talk about that at a later date. The similarities. Anyways, but she was like, I dreamed about singing since I was a little girl. And there was a moment where I was like, I just have to do it. I can't not do it anymore. Like, I've been telling myself finance, but I don't like finance. I don't want to do finance. I don't want to be in finance. This is not for me. And she went for it. And the best part about, I love this quote from her. She says, who I am, Tim's, this music is a manifestation of that. It's a manifestation of me just going for my. I am like, Tim's is like, she is easily one of my favorite singers.
My heart.
Like,
I'm so proud of her.
About her. But I love that you brought her up as an example, because she's a prime example of, if she hadn't listened, like, we're talking about written songs for Rihanna, Lift Me Up. If you didn't know, now you know.
Oscar nominated.
Beyonce, all of the artists that Lottie already named, and you are a newer artist on the scene, and you got to do the soundtrack for the Black Panther.
Bruh, she's out of here. The way
Can you imagine if she
nonstop.
didn't do what you said? Like, if she had just went soft with it, it maybe would have hit. But when it was her moment, she didn't let up, and look what happened. So don't give into it, y'all. In those moments where you feeling like, do I got this? I got this. I love, wait a minute. Somebody said in the chat, who was it? I think it was Emotional Taco. Oh, Boss 2.0. Boss 2.0 says Chloe Bailey says, I deserve it when she doubts her success. Yes. And then Good Music Golden says, she also says, I make it look easy. Those affirmations, that's a tip.
Ooh.
Where are the affirmations that you need to remind yourself of
They need to be written down if they're not
When
already. Let's say that.
I have them taped to my laptop. I have 2 Post-it
Get
notes
some
taped to my laptop.
Post-its, make it your lock screen,
Yo,
put it
everything.
on your mirror, like
write it. You need to see it.
Between the vision board and the affirmations, child, running it, 2023 is gonna be the best year yet. Like, stop playing.
Don't let yourself forget it, and don't apologize for it when the homegirl, homeboy, whoever come over and you got lipstick on the mirror. Oh well,
hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. But when I tell you, I have visual, like I literally have them taped to my laptop. Right, I kid you not. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's literally what it's taped to my laptop. Because perfectionism is another form of imposter syndrome. Ooh. Because you start to convince yourself that if it's not perfect, then you failed.
As a Virgo, this resonates.
That's another version of imposter syndrome. Like so it has to be perfect, otherwise it's not. Well, then, so you're saying if it's not perfect, then you'll never be proud of anything that you've done. Therefore, you're
or that you'll never take the chance on doing things. Like,
you won't
get that out of here. It's better that it's completed than that it's perfect. Because at least when it's completed, it's been done.
Hold up, it's better.
I can't even take credit for that. I don't know who said it originally, but. Done is better than perfect. Ooh. Done is better than perfect. Get it done. Stop procrastinating. Period. Listen, not to give y'all homework, and y'all can start working on it right now. If you don't have at least 50, and I mean 50 affirmations written down, things you want for your life, personally, professionally, things you want for the people around you, what you want your environment to look like, what you want your bank account to look like. Hello? 25 sitting on 25 mil. What did Drake say? 25 sitting on 25 mil. And crush that. Stop playing around. Stop playing around. I'm serious. I feel like.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Not on my watch.
Save my life. Lottie, she is yelling. Save my life.
No, because this is serious. This is serious. Anyone who has ever achieved greatness in life, saw what it was before it even came close to happening. Whether it's Kanye, Will Smith, whoever, they saw the Grammys, they saw the Billboard charts, they saw all the awards, all the accolades, Rolling Stone covers, Fashion Week. They saw all of that before it ever happened. Write that stuff down, say it to yourself, and prove yourself right. Stop playing.
Prove yourself right. Prove yourself right. Prove yourself right. Yeah. Because you have it. You have it. You have everything you need right now. You have. Because if you need, I'm telling you, everything you have is everything you need. Because if you needed more, you would have it. I'm telling you, you just got to learn how to, and look, this is pot calling the kettle black. I'm learning it too. I'm navigating it too. I have to remind myself every single day.
Hello.
Relax. You got this. Chill out. Stop being so hard on yourself. You've accomplished a lot. And let me say this. Write down everything you want to accomplish, like Lottie said. Give yourself some grace.
And write it in present tense, not I want present to win. Tense. I am a Grammy award-winning songwriter, artist, producer. It's done.
I am. Who you are, right?
I am bad as hell, period. I am the smartest person in the motherfucking room. I am a 7-figure earner. I am, period. That's it. Not I want to be, I think, no.
I am.
That's it. If I see one more person put aspiring something on their damn LinkedIn, get that off your profile. You're not aspiring nothing. You are the thing. You did the thing. What did Angela Bassett say? You did the damn thing. Did the damn thing. Come on.
But trust the process, though. You are those things. Allow for yourself to become them. Allow for yourself to be present in what's happening right now so that you can actually, when it happens, you can actually be like, oh, I know what I went through to get here. And you can be present in that moment. Again, you are, and you will be all of those things. But give yourself the grace to get there. Be patient with yourself and give yourself the grace to get there. Like, it's okay if you aren't it right now. You are, But it's okay if the Grammy isn't here right this second. It doesn't mean that you failed if you didn't get it that year. You better keep making that music and get it next. You know what I'm saying? Like, just remember that. Just remember that your current circumstances doesn't change your purpose. You know what I mean? Like, your current circumstances help you to define how you're going about it for sure. But like,
And they help you tell your story.
you can't, don't knock your current place because it's not where you want to be yet. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get there. You're going to get there. You will when it's time. And I'm telling you about that timing. Sometimes when you think you're ready, woo, you gotta get more getting ready that you gotta get, and then you're ready. But you'll get there. You know what I mean? So just be patient, be kind. All right, y'all. Be kind to yourselves throughout this, because this imposter syndrome gets dicey. Now, what's going on in the chat? What y'all got going on? We got, okay, wait. Woo, there's a lot.
Oh, yay. We love activity.
We love it. Ooh, I use the word goodish as an analogy for whatever I give that's my best at that moment. Okay, I love that. If y'all have any questions too, as you're, navigating it. Lottie, why did you call somebody? Somebody said erases. Emotional Taco said erases aspiring for my LinkedIn bio.
I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I really am. Because what's that going to, okay. Are you doing the thing you're not? Damn. Love you. I say it with love.
Yes, I love it. I love it, y'all. Y'all are vibing. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. I see the comments. Y'all get it. Y'all get it, So take with this what you will. But remember, shoot your shot on yourself. You're not aspiring, you are. And write those affirmations.
50. And if you feel brave enough, feel free to share them. Write them down and say them to yourselves every day. First thing when you wake up, and try it out for 30 days. Tell me something not gonna shake, bruh.
It's true. And
serious.
Try to keep them where you frequent. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have it taped to my laptop.
You have a couple copies. Keep one in your purse. Keep one near the laptop. Keep one in the bathroom. Keep one in the
wherever
kitchen.
you need it to be.
You can have them everywhere. And I don't care if you live with people or not. They're gonna see the affirmations, be like, okay, damn, I need to get some too. Like.
And imagine if everybody is affirming themselves in the household, then we're gonna win. That's a whole other conversation. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what the impact of you affirming yourself could be on your surroundings too. Y'all got this. We believe in y'all. Lottie, did we have questions on Twitter? I didn't see Twitter. I only saw Twitch.
No, we don't have any questions on the Twitter.
Yes, Emotional Taco. I journal a lot. So I feel you on that.
Exactly. We love some journaling. I love journaling. It's so good.
Love them. All right, y'all. Well, y'all know it's Sunday. It's a vibe. Y'all know where to find us next week.
Same place, same time.
Period.
We'll let you guys vote again on what you want the next topic to be. And
we're excited about that. Y'all make sure to tap in on Twitter. We'll be tweeting that out later this week so y'all can vote. Love that y'all voted for this. I'm glad that we finally got the chance to talk about it. I hope this was helpful. And yeah, tap in with us if you ever have questions, y'all. If y'all are like, "Ooh, can you please talk about this?"
We don't bite.
Yes, I love it. All right, y'all. It's been real. Happy Sunday. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Send the replay to a friend who needs it.
Send the replay to a friend who needs it, because we're all in this oh God, I don't mean to quote High School Musical Disney, but
we're all in this together. That's fine, bruh. No, High School Musical changed my life. Stop playing with me.
I love it.
Hello.
All right, y'all. It's been real. Bye.
Bye.